dingolu nata la kota kede nin siso habat sauda ni mine nata iko wolo miracle honey ni miracle honey aka mine jara hada madingo jato kon iko dabaro mi yalon ko a denta domoro fanna la karola kata kono kono dabaro mi yalon ko hanning atar yadomole kabrin sanji mon ko manto hanning atar kunun no yadomo abe tora kan mbadingo ni miracle honey ta yadomo yake jikando kono ya miniti tan saba ngole dila ni miracle honey bala do ko gel ya be fo no fa be senia amanda wala de iko mol min fana yalon ko iko no kayiti imala minke kono yitini ni miracle honey ta ya min anyanta kala nyame inin kono yito talada kabrin dunya fa algiya amanda o fana ned mol min fana yalon ko gaso be kono miracle honey ta ya muta yami inin gaso ka talawol han kabi amanda nyina nko mina fana mbije iko kengo tubabol ka fa mina ko fat kengo du nasiya da hadama dun kono mobe yala al mantoro min ni lafta isita ite la bitiki bunda mum bor munto chokistan ngoy bali banjulle de basela hani senegal siso khabat sauda ay dula sota je mali Guinea Bissau Mauritanie Afrikos amanda nyindula la hani France wala sulate ni siso khabat sauda yal bulo du nyola nomba min kumandila afelenti 9954 919 6954 919 7954 919 3954 919 4399 462.
I told her I wanted as many as the hospital would need. They said they needed 4. I said, no, 4 is not enough. We put additional 4 to make it 8.
Hello, wonderful viewers, wonderful subscribers. This is Active TV again for another fast and a quick update. Mbadi mulu ngalbe tentu ngalbe jai ngalbe bismillah kotake Active TV purgana kibaro bonde nan kotake miyalam kakabo Gambia banko kang andung abedeni. His Excellency former President Jammeh miyalon ko Gambia banko mara covering 1994 karafa 2016 Jammeh mi yalon ko science and abesiring Equatorial Guinea akata motinu mi yalon ko a interview soto anin GRTS idiamuta leptano la Kenya la Gambia banko kang. Today I will be bringing the interviews Jammeh, the former President Jammeh, did with GRTS, the measures, the strict measures he took to ensure that our health sector is regulated. Jammeh said, according to him, he provided 12 dialysis machines. A dialysis machine is to help waste product removed from the blood when the kidney stop working properly. Jammeh akata moti mi yalon ko adiamu ta nyin dialysis machine la dialysis machine naliyo moy wala mu yalon ko aka yelo ku ni moli ni problem o soto ko kil problem o soto ka yelo ku fe mu yalon ko mambeta yelo kono ay bondije Jammeh akata moti mi yalon ko adiamu ta Gambia banko otumo na health sector ni na jata kendala bundala kala sol mi yalon ko ka kenunje Jammeh diamu ta kayitande simfal mu yalon ko awleta purka joko Gambia banko jata kenda ke dulati mi yalon ko molmul betara do ko je isa samba anyama. Former President Jammeh kuma kan mi yalon ka wala banka lan interview kono mbe alla moy ngan hakilol murundi koma purka long ay simfa nyaadi leta Gambia banko kan jata kenda la bundal. Ngani sotali bi, this is Active TV update.
One of the best X-ray machines in Africa. They destroyed it. And when you go for X-ray, they refer you to somewhere else, which I will not name, for X-ray and then you at a cost, and then you pay. When we have provided everything, I provided 12 dialysis machines for those who have kidney problems, who require dialysis. It was very expensive. They go across to Senegal. It's very expensive, and this is something you have to do every week. And I provided. I told her I wanted as many as the hospital would need. They said they needed 4. I said, no, 4 is not enough. We put additional 4 to make it 8. I sent 4 to the AFPRC hospital. I wanted to send another 4 to Suleiman Junko Hospital. They told me that they don't have the expertise there. Fair enough. Now, you will be shocked to know that out of the 12 that have been provided, only 2 were working. And they give you the impression that these equipments are very expensive. I was shocked when I went to Taiwan and I asked. They told me it costs less than $10,000. I said, what? Dr. Mbo can bear witness. There and then I used all my money and bought that number. And we also bought again. We also bought an oxygen plant, which would have been so not only sufficient, but the Edward Francis Small Teaching Hospital would have been the main supplier of oxygen to all the hospitals and health centers in this country. Guess what? After 1 month, they say it has a problem. The oxygen tanks are nowhere to be found. And what I cannot understand is, you tell me that the equipment has broken down, only to go there and ask for the equipment is nowhere to be found. There was complete mayhem at the hospital, which is unacceptable. It led to the sacking of some ministers. But I think people at the Edward Francis Small Teaching Hospital, they didn't get the message. So I decided to bring it under my purview. But not only that, also to staff it with people that are ready to work. And then when the Syrians came, there was a lot of resistance. And I made it very clear to the Syrians. Don't give me names. I will know those who are behind it. But warn them that if the president decides to send anybody to jail, you cannot intervene. And you should not intervene. Some cooperated, there were a lot of resistance. Can you imagine the hospital's management spending $20,000 for coffee break during a meeting, and just $5,000 to provide something for a patient who is undergoing surgery they don't have? There was a time that even the testing tubes, they call them, for pregnant women was not even available. You go there, they tell you to refer you to a pharmacy. When you go, you find it there. And before, during the time of Dr. Gassama, I took him to Egypt and another country. And I spoke to the Egyptian minister of, I spoke to the president of Egypt then, President Mubarak, who is a good friend of the Gambia, who is a good friend of mine, irrespective of what position he is in. He said, don't worry, I will send you to the pharmaceutical companies. You visit their facilities, and whatever you agree with them, we will implement that. I told him, no. I will go and check their products, and we will take samples and test them. Give them to the WHO to test and see if they are of WHO standard. And if the answer is affirmative, I don't want to deal with the companies themselves, because if there's a problem, there'll be if there's a problem, if we pay and they fail to deliver, it will be very difficult for us to retrieve our money. So now what we want to do is sign with the Egyptian government, Ministry of Health, all our agreements with the pharmaceutical companies. We sign that agreement with it is government to government. So if a pharmaceutical company misbehaves, you deal with it. He said, whatever you want, that's what I will do. So we signed, and I said, okay, there's a lot of pilfering of drugs. That's one thing I want done. To put in a mark that you know that unless you are told what it is, where it is, you will not know, so that if the medicine is stolen and sent to a pharmacy, Dr. Gassama can go and stand at the pharmacy and say, this is from government company. This was going on, I thought, up to now, only to realize last year that it has been discontinued. And I regret why I didn't send that particular minister to jail instead of, but then you are long gone. Can you imagine? I want a healthy country. And if you have a healthy country, it's a wealthy country. and somebody wants to line his or her pockets at the detriment of sick people, I am not going to tolerate that. So I was shocked. Now, most of the equipment at the Edward Francis Small Teaching Hospital, as I say, were obsolete. It's okay. Not only will I bring doctors, but I'll also bring biomedical engineers. Guess what? They found brand new machines, equipment that are vital for surgery and other things that can be found in any high-class hospital, lying in a store, gathering dust. And then I got word that they wanted to sell it, but the buyer asked where it was purchased from, and it was told that it was the president who went on from one of his overseas missions. He bought it, and the guy said, "Do you think I want to go to jail?" So the guy refused to buy it. Now, as we speak, we have the biomedical engineers there fixing up this equipment. And I told the Minister of Health to go around and see for himself what is happening elsewhere. If they can misbehave just next door to State House, imagine what they will do in your village, Sintet. He went around and he was shocked with what he has seen. But he decided to warn them. I have no objections to that. But if they fail to heed his warning and the patients continue to die unnecessarily or are not attended to, his head will roll as a minister. If you look at all the ministries, the Ministry of Health has the highest turnover of dismissed ministers. And I'll continue the trend, not only health, but from now, all the ministers, if you don't want to work, go home. Simple and straightforward. This is not a conscript army where you are obliged to serve. So, up to today, what I found at the Edward Francis Small Teaching Hospital has shocked me. That's the only most negative part of the year. But I'm going to clean it. A bulldozer leaves a lot of things under. I'm going to use razor wire, detergent. The strongest detergent is what I'm going to use. Use a bulldozer, a grader, and then a compacting machine to make sure that even grass will not grow there. But if you think that that's only for the hospitals, that applies to the entire civil service. All the services of this government. If you think the salary is small, go home. Because I don't think you'll be happy to know that your uncle or your father or your brother or your mother or sister died at the operating table because they couldn't provide enough oxygen. How much does it cost? When we have provided for them a world-class oxygen plant. Even when it came and the WHO resident then came and saw it, he said, this is a big step forward. But other areas also, the police, they still continue their malpractices despite the fact that it has been reduced. So also the army. I have to put my foot down to make sure that some people were court-martialed for misbehavior. So if I don't spare the army, I don't spare the police.
So indiscipline is a problem.
I am not going to tolerate it. You have zero tolerance for indiscipline. And I used to give 3 warnings. Now I'll give you 1.5. By the time it is 2, you are either going to jail, you are going to be prosecuted and sent to jail, or you are going home for good. And as from now also, those who are sitting down there thinking that, oh, I didn't do anything wrong, I was sent home, to hell with you, I'm not going to bring you back. Gone are the days where people appeal to me out of sympathy and out of consideration for their families. I let them come back, I give them a chance. Guess what? When they are given a chance, they would not accept the fact that somebody pleaded on their behalf. They say, this law, defuma on that, and President dafa def mistake, mu realize ne defuma dara mu delo. Now, if I dismiss you also and you tell me that you have been hard working, good. When you are hard working, you stayed in the system. But when you became less serious and became more corrupt, you go home. So don't even write to me and tell me I'm the only breadwinner. Well, if you are a breadwinner and the bread is no longer there, you can be the firewood winner and feed your family. I am not going to dismiss anybody now and bring you back, no matter what your position is. So those who would write to appeal, I think the best appeal is to appeal to whatever they are to you, your uncle, your father, your mother, or your whatever he is to you or she is to you. Appeal to them to do what is right. I will go back to the national anthem for the Gambia, our homeland. We strive to work and pray. And then we have pledge to protect the common good. The common good is what people think that, oh, these are government funds, they don't belong to anybody, so it's fair game for anybody to take. If you do that, you are asking for trouble. And we're also going to change some of the laws. Because if you take somebody to court only for him to be given 2 years, this is unacceptable. Because what he did will destroy hundreds of thousands of lives in this country. You think I'm a fool? I don't want money. I want money. So if I can spend money to pay students without even asking for their parents' political affiliation, I see no reason why somebody will sit down there and divert those funds and deprive young. You think I'm stupid? I don't want my money.